Welcome back to Chokitable Media. Morayo Afolabi-Brown appeared on the podcast with Chude, hashtag with Chude, a couple of days ago. Morayo disclosed that she was fired from her job at TVC, a major Nigerian television station. Following her dismissal, she claimed President Bola Tinubu intervened directly and was instrumental in facilitating her return to broadcasting. The context of the interview is large, but I'm going to bring it to you. Explain in summary what really went on and how she explained the time she spent at TVC and every other matters that was raised by Chude during the interview. With Chude podcast, specifically season 7, episode 54, and the title of the episode is explicitly named I Was Fired from TVC and President Tinubu Brought Me Back. Morayo Afolabi-Brown. The episode, along with others from the show, can be found on the official website www.withchude.com. Let's talk a bit about what went on during the interview. Morayo explained to Chude when they started the interview that it wasn't President Bola Tinubu that employed her at TVC, but she knew President Bola Tinubu way back before she joined the TVC. Bola Tinubu happens to be a friend to her father, and they are a kind of family friend. People were expecting Morayo Afolabi-Brown to join the government. A question was raised about that just because she participated in the campaign in 2023 when Bola Tinubu was the candidate of APC. She explained in the interview that she got a letter inviting her to come and participate in the campaign. And she had two options to take, either to say yes or no. So she said it was unknown to her, but she was co-opted into the campaign. And she went on to explain the reason why the family of Tinubu and Afolabi Akabashoron were friends. She explained to the extent that it was Bola Tinubu that helped the family out to pay the medical bills for her father when the father was alive, when the father was sick. She went on and explained the job she did before in broadcasting before joining TVC. She explained she worked in France and with some broadcasting stations. And she mentioned the name of the guy that helped her to get into the TV stations to work. Then she later went on to explain how she was sacked at TVC. And the reason why she was sacked was not mentioned in the interview. And she went on to tell Chude that the reason for the sack is going to be explained in her new book. That means she's writing a book at the moment to explain what really went on. Then she later also went on to talk about Oprah, citing the example of Oprah holding Obama's hand and supporting Obama. So saying that the same thing actually happened to her supporting Bola Tinubu out of her own personal conviction. So after that, she went on to explain that my view, that is her program on TVC, was 10 years old. She had it in her mind that enough is enough, that she has to leave. So she left at exactly 12 years when the program is 12 years. So, and talking about the replacement or people taking after her or taking over the program for her. And she explained the program, my view, isn't belong to her. The program actually belongs to TVC itself. So it is the TVC that is going to appoint the ladies that are going to anchor or the ladies that are going to continue the show. And she solicited that the show must not die, which actually that's what we're saying. It wouldn't die because there are other ladies are there also doing their best to keep your view alive at the TVC. Then later on, she dabbled into personal family affairs. The argument she had with her husband because of what she said on here during one of our programs that went viral, and the way the husband reacted at that particular point in time, talking about their children, that she wouldn't. Yes, I remember now that she wouldn't leave her babies with her husband or something like that. So I think it was a forgone issue. You remember what I'm trying to say about this event that happened at that particular time. She went on to talk about her mother and the impact of her mother in her life, and in her life and her brother's life, and the struggle the mother faced when she was alive. She explained her growing up, and she didn't go into much details about what really happened, but at least she explained that her mother was going through a lot at that particular time. Then later on, should ask her, looking back on your career you've had in Nigeria, was it worth it to have returned to Nigeria? Morayo was living in the US before, and Morayo answered, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't lie. The first 3 years, I was depressed coming back to Nigeria. I was crying every day. I was like, why am I here? Because I didn't even do my visa. You know, how you go to America, the first thing they tell you as a Nigeria, go and do paper and stay. I was very foolish. I didn't even care. I am like, I'm going back to Africa. That's the problem when you let a child leave Nigeria at a young age. I left at age 15, right? Quoting her. Now, should ask again. Now, if you leave Nigeria at the age of 15, you are so young that your brain will make you think you are an America as you are growing adult. You start to think that you are American person. So, but if you lived to an adult, maybe you leave Nigeria after university, you are mature, and when you get to America, you will appreciate the opportunity, you make the best of it. But as a young person, I just wanted to come home. But as we are like, I want to go back to my country. I'm done with this country. So, still, Morayo speaking there. I don't live in America. They kept begging me, and see, don't go to Nigeria without doing your paperwork. Comment from our friends and people around her. But she didn't care. She said she did not care. So she actually wanted to come to Nigeria, and that was why she came back. She said she loved Nigeria. She talked about where she was living, and when she came back, what she experienced was like a kind of crowded area. It wasn't like the nice neighborhood that she used to know. So I think it was part of the thing that made her depressed. So it was so bad that she was even expecting that a car will hit her and she would die. So, because she was so depressed, so she was contemplating suicide at that particular time. Then later on, she reconnected herself to God, like she said. So, and she said that was how she was able to get out of the problem of this depression thing. He also said she advised her daughter not to keep anything away from her. Just like the mother also, her home mother kept a lot of things away from her because probably because she was young and she wouldn't be able to take issue regarding marriage, family setup and all the rest. And later on, she went on to explain what your view actually stand for. She explained she's been able to speak with Muslim, Christians, and Yoruba, Igbo, and every people from every culture. So it wasn't actually a problem for her to put all these things together and work and use her talent to bring people together and allow people also to have their say. The anchors also, majority of them also enjoyed being on the show. So I will leave you at this point for you to go and watch the full episode of this summary of the interview or the podcast of With Chud. So for the complete understanding of this story, including the full context and the details of our experience, you can watch the entire episode on the provided platform. On YouTube, you can also get the video on www.withchud.com. That is Morayo Afolabi-Brown, the first interview after the expiration of her duty at TVC, and as the anchor of Your View. So Your View is still online. Your View is one of the best program from TVC. So you may just take the chance to watch the presentation anytime you have the chance and see what they do over there. And I believe, and I'm so sure that you will get something out of the place. Most of the ardent watcher of this program have commented. They showed how well they missed or they will miss Morayo not being on the platform again. This is Chokitable Media. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. This is, uh, an inspirational time and an example from Morayo not to stay in a place. And there you can leave a place at the time the ovation is loud. I think that is exactly what she has really done. And she actually want to try her hand in several other things that she has online for herself. So sky is the limit. So wish her all the best from Chokitable Media. Put on your notification button and God bless you as you do when you watch these. Bye-bye for now.
After you worked in the 2023
elections,
elections, that the next level was this. And you are so close to the first family that you can call the first lady to get advice.
Really? No. So then, yes, and because we have a history, my father was president of the Nigerian Bar Association, and he was a human rights activist. And when he was very ill, the governor at the time, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, stood with my mother. I mean, he cared for my dad. He helped with medical bills, and then the things were really tough for the family, and he was there for us. And then my brother came back home. He held my brother's hand in politics. He was somebody that stood with us.